I'm going to write a book. AI is the bridge in the gap of tech and human communication. It's a bridge. All right, so prime directive, here it is. No client qualification, no AI underwriting. Okay, so you guys got to know that. No AI, no carrier decisions, no guessing allowed. We underwrite before we quote. Those are the rules, those are the guidelines. How AI thinks. I'm going to show you how specifically AI underwriting that I built thinks. It's going to take that client qualification form, it's going to look at the age, it's going to look at the health tolerances, it's going to look at your budget constraints. Why? Because I've already put in there and I've done this. You guys can adjust it. My rule of thumb through experience has always been if the mortgage amount that they're paying, it's got to be 10% or below on that in order for your max premium. Okay. Again, so if it's $3,000, what's the max combined premium that I want to offer my client? $300, right? Max between the two couples. That's how I've always written it. That's how I was taught. That was kind of an intuition. And my policies typically stick if I stay below 10%. If you go over that 10%, it's possible that you could, for protection purposes, you can close them. But most likely, if it's over 10%, you're going to be speaking in terms of retirement protection. Okay. So that's a different conversation. But for protection purposes, you want to stay below 10% in order for it to stick. Okay. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rules. I get it, but I built it in that way. So mortgage protection lane, this is just for mortgage protection. We can also look at how to ask it for general life. But right now, I just want you guys to focus on what's made this organization that we're in $18 million in less than 7 years. Okay. And then carrier fit. Okay. So mortgage protection scope. This training covers mortgage protection only. Final expense is treated as critical period and equity protection payment plan. So if you guys know, we go back to Chris Leak, we go back to all this training, right? We talk about mortgage protection, critical period, and equity protection plan. So the assumption is you guys know that already. Now, final expense is not a separate lane, in MP. What I mean by if you're buying final expense leads, I have that in there, but I just don't want to focus on that. Why? Because it's not sticky business. Okay. Carrier by lane overview. So AI ranks mortgage protection lanes, no standalone final expense lane. A term. So here's how with the inputs, the instructions we're giving AI. Age 25 to 60, mortgage payoff focus, budget sensitive, core carriers, Americo, Mutual of Omaha, American Amicable, Foresters. Okay. And I do have more in here. Living benefits, Americo, Mutual of Omaha, American Amicable, Foresters. You can put Banner Life, although I didn't have the underwriting guidelines, field underwriting guidelines for Banner Life. I didn't have the underwriting guidelines for SBLI. When they're available, I will dump them in, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Express Permanent, IUL lane, 30 to 55, strong budget. Equity style protection, core carriers are Americo, Mutual of Omaha, and now the FFIUL Express, which I hear really good things about it. Okay. All right. And then critical period equity protection lane, 55 to 85. That's pushing it. 85 is pushing it here. I think there's only several carriers. Mutual of Omaha is one that does that. And I think, and I could be wrong, Americos, but we can always adjust that. We tell it to learn it and to adjust that. So that's the full payoff. When the full payoff is unrealistic and mortgage protection, payment, and equity protection is the focus. So it uses term, permanent, or FE style products, depends on the age, right? If they're 55, you can still get away with the term, and then permanent, of course, whole life, and then some FE style products, like you could use IUL if they're a little bit healthier, but we don't want to focus on that because an IUL, if you don't know, sits on an annual renewable term chassis. So inherently, as the product ages, the product gets inherently more costly. It is a permanent product, but it's built on an annual renewable term chassis. So what that means that Frank is 50 today. If I pay a premium and it's target, okay, that can probably push me out for another 15 years. But if I keep paying that same payment, what happens as I age? What happens to the cost of insurance? It goes up, right? So you have to be careful with the IUL for older people. And when I mean older, middle age. You just got to be very careful, get with your upline. And then the client qualification form drives everything. So all the answers that are in there, you're going to put them in. Can we afford a payoff? What mortgage protection lane fits in as a reality? And then what's the risk? Present that. Okay, always to them. So here's how the logic behind it. Age, below 55, plus budget okay, term living benefits or living benefits. I'm sorry, or term plus living benefits. If it's 50 to 60, tight budget, partial payoff, we're going to look at that. If it's age 55 plus, we're looking at focusing on critical period or equity protection. I'm going to run through some scenarios with you guys, okay? And then client qualification term lane, clean to moderate health, payoff realistic. Again, we want to stick to that under 10% rule. All right, AI selects the best mortgage protection carrier for you in that case, okay? And then client qualification express permanent lane, typically younger, budget's more flexible. They want equity style protection, but they also AI selects express permanent carriers there. And then what agents must stop doing, separating FE from MP, quoting before C key. Like if I just throw out a quote to them, we don't do that. We need their client qualification form. We need to know their health. We need to know what medications. This is again, you can't, there's no substitute for experience. Forcing payoff math, ignoring A's reality, okay? And then what AI enforces, discipline, consistency, faster approvals, and cleaner issue paid. So the final install rule, client qualification decides mortgage protection lane, lane decides the carrier, and agent presents, not guesses. The agent is going to present always to the client. So here's kind of what it looks like on this end, and I will share my screen here. So good. Estimated monthly premium range. And then this option covers your mortgage the lowest cost. So that's good. It's probably just a regular term. You're going to run quotes on SFG quotes. Once it selects which carrier and which product, go run it. Better. So this is one with living benefits. I highly suggest that's a good leverage point when you're presenting good, better, best. Something with living benefits. Why? Because it's distinctive. You're offering something that is distinctive, and that's put into AI as a program. So I just want you to learn it. And then best, this is when we go the permanent option style, equity protection style, benefits, and it's a permanent policy. It builds cash value, right? But it's focused on protection. And again, this option protects the mortgage while building long-term cash value. So run those exact quotes. And then critical period, again, just to recap, I'm giving you guys a nice framework here so you guys can see how it's thinking. And then critical period dash equity protection, number of months the benefits designed to pay the mortgage. Okay. This covers a mortgage payment during the most critical time when this happens. So, and this is what this looks like. This is just a simple table that if you guys don't have my template, I have it. This is simple. What do you do here? Good. Instant term. Maybe SBLI here. You put SBLI and then you put the face amount, the years, and you want a visual. People are visual. This is where human experience comes in, guys. You ready? Simplicity sells. Complexity leads to questions and more questions. And what do questions do? A confused buyer is not buying. Look how simple this is. Oh, a 20-year term, $80 a month. And so what am I getting for the 80? Oh, I see a check mark on living benefits. So it comes with living benefits? Yeah. Chronic, critical, and terminal illness rider. Explain what that is. That's where the experience comes in. That's where you've experienced or you're listening to Chris Leak. Chronic, if you can't perform 2 of the 6 acts of daily living, this product is designed to pay you a monthly payment. It's an advancement of your death benefit, 2%. Let's say you have 300,000. You have $6,000 a month. Now, sir, or would that be something that would benefit you if, God forbid, you had a chronic illness? Absolutely, right? And this is exactly what this better is designed to do. And then at critical period, right? Critical is if you had, after the age of 50, 1 out of every 7 Americans will suffer from a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. The reality is it's a life event that you're probably not going to die from now with medicine. It can, but probably, right? And because of that, you're going to need time to recover. So this gives you an advancement. Some carriers do up to 80%, some do up to 90, but it depends on how severe that was, right? And then you go into your storytelling, right? Facts tell, stories sell. So the story is I had a friend, she was a model, she was Arizona, she had a stroke, young lady, it took her about a year to learn to read and write again. So, so Mr. Prospect, God forbid if that were to happen to you, is this something that would benefit your family? Oh, absolutely. Great. best. Well, this one has all of those, but it comes with one other thing that it builds cash value. So the money you're putting into it, because you're young right now, the money you're putting into it, imagine in 20 years, you have your house and now you have this cash value in there, sitting there that's earning 6 to 8%. Of course, we can't guarantee that. We can't predict the market, but on average, 6 to 8% that you're earning. And so you have protection and you have cash value accumulation system. And so that's $120. Of those three options, which one fits your budget? AI can't do that for you. Persuasion. Okay. Next. Any questions on that? And I'll give you guys the slides on this too. And then I'll give you the instructions on AI. We're going to go over, we're going to load something up for somebody. We're going to show you if we have enough time. And then for the critical period plan, I love doing this. I'm going to put the client's name in there, the age, the monthly mortgage and payment amount. In this case, it's $1,000. What's their goal? Their goal is to protect the mortgage for their family so it doesn't go back to the lender, right? So plan A, B, C. Plan A, 12-month face value. I'm going to spell it out for them here. 12 months of mortgage payments at $150 a month. What does that do? You could take a lump sum of $12,000 or the carrier can pay the beneficiary $1,000 for 12 months. Plan B, 16 months of mortgage payment or a lump sum of $16,000. Your premium is $200 a month. I round up. I learned that from Stefan. He rounds up. People just like seeing round numbers. Plan C, 18,000 or 18 months of mortgage payments, or that premium is $250 a month. Of these three options, which one fits your budget? That's it. That's it. All right, guys. So I gave you guys the overview. I gave you guys the frame of thought behind it. And now any questions before we go into AI? And then how you're going to build out a folder. And we're going to go over that right now. Let's see if everything's Frank's saying is working. All right, let's go. Let me show you guys some things here. I'm going to share with you the top secret. You ready? So I have a file here. It's called AI Underwriter, right? So let's take a look at a client qualification form. Stefan sent me one. I don't think this is going to work because his handwriting. Let's try it. Let's try this. All right, let's go. So this is his handwriting. I'm going to just put here MP. Wow. Look at this. Male, 67, 59 years old, 179 pounds, looks normal build, high blood pressure only, medications. Okay, no cancer, no diabetes, tobacco, non-smoker, legal felony, 2001, still on probation, restitution, mortgage, 30 years, 3,200. Immediate underwriting reality check, active probation, hard stop for most instant issue term products. That kills Banner, SBLI, and LGA, which is the same thing. Again, when I uploaded all the carriers and the underwriting stuff, remember we were LGA and Banner, remember that? Okay, now, so good. Here's good. Good is critical period coverage. Okay, this is the correct move today. Coverage 3,200, 24 to 36 months, gives spouse runway, buys time. Why it works, legal friendly, fast approvals designed exactly for the scenario. He's got a $1.2 million house. Fantasyland. Think about that for a second. This guy's got a $1.2 million. He's probably through his hardship, he's learned how to make money, but he's still an inherent risk, right? Think about it. It's not just a health risk. What is he inherently? He's shown in his past that he gets in trouble. Okay, if you're an insurance company, are you going to be down? You'll be like, here, let me insure you, right? I want you guys to think from a very rational, common sense way. This is hilarious. All right, so here we go. Don't chase term, do right critical period, 24 to 36 months. Man, that's it. Okay, so show me, watch this. Show me the table on this. Total benefit, 76,000, 115. Okay, well, which carriers? All right, so this guarantees mortgage amount. Why? Well, what's good, better, best? Adjust 12, 24, 36 months, match it to your mortgage protection. Well, what is it? Look at that. Look at this, guys. So all I do here, so I click this and then I go to my presentation and I dump it in here. And then my job is just to look for the premium. That's just my job, just to look for premium. So let's go back here. It's telling me, it's giving me all these options, but it's even doing good, better, best. But now you guys, at the very least, what you're doing here is at the very least, you have something to work with. So Frank, where do I get all that information? I love AI. This is what's awesome. Do you guys know you can screenshot stuff just like Stefan did, dump it in? Did you know you could tell it to save it as a file? So you guys know that on SFG quotes, let's go here, guys. I'm going to give you guys a hack. Who's excited? So we're on SFG quotes right now, right? And wow, they got the tools, man. This thing is cool, right? Well, underwriting cheat sheet. You see this? All in one place. Watch this. You guys ready? Command. Okay. Now watch. I'm going to copy and paste this. Okay. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the same thing. I want you guys to save those files right here. Okay. What am I doing?
Are you scraping it as an image?
Oh, AI uses different eyes. And guess what? It'll know this. Oh, dang. You know what? It didn't let me do that. So you got to go Command Shift 4. It won't let you just take a screenshot. It knows how to filter that. The max files you can upload into each folder is 20. Okay, so I'm going to build this at 20. So you guys see me doing this, right? Who's excited? Who's taking notes? So now we have this in place, right? But now what do we need? We need to give it instructions. So we have all the screenshots. You can label them screenshot 1, screenshot 2, screenshot 3, whatever you want to label. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your files right here. You're going to click, you're going to put a new project. You're going to pay $20 more. You're going to open this up, and in here, you're going to give it instructions. You see this? If you really want to get cute, which you can, but you only have 20 files to put into this. Okay. Let me stop sharing. You only have 20 files. So you could technically grab all the carriers that you want to work with. You have access to all those field underwriting guidelines. And if it's less than 20, dump it in there so it's more accurate than this grid, because this grid, if it's updated, that's good. If it's not, then it's going to get stuck, right? And then you're going to upload it into it. So that's number one. All the field underwriting stuff, screenshot it or grab it. If you only want to do the instant approval, instant decision carriers and product, do so. That's even better. You're filtering yourself. So that's number one. Number two, I want you to put all of the scripts that you have for critical period, download that script, put it in there. And I want you to put the template that I have. I want you to download that, dump it into it. So what did I say? Number one, go ahead, write it down. Write it down right now. Number one, screenshots. Number two,
Writing guides.
right, well, those are the screenshots. So either underwriting guidelines or that. Number two, critical period and mortgage protection, right? How do I present that? Okay, boom, put that in there. Those two. Last, instruction. This is critical. You're teaching the bot how you want it to present specifically to mortgage protection field. And here's what it looks like. Who wants the instruction? Here we go. Ready? These are the instructions. These are all the instructions I'm giving it. Use NLG as a last option. So here it is. Who wants a copy of the underwriting guideline? I'm going to save this. You guys want this? Okay. So there we go, guys. You're going to say on this PowerPoint that I uploaded, where it says critical period equity protection, I want you to follow this format. On mortgage protection, regular, full payoff amount, or partial, I want you to follow this format. Why? Again, it's a baby. You got to tell it instruction. You got to give it instruction on exactly how you want it to give you that information, okay? All right, now, last piece of information, actually right here on the three, so almost a year ago. So this thing's been battle tested for about a year, okay? These are the inputs that I'm putting into it, and you can review it, and then you can add to it. I actually even put it into ChatGPT, and I was telling it, I've already put the input in. How would you make it so I can duplicate this? Remember, information irretrievable is useless. So I want you guys to be more effective. If you're more effective, we're making more money. Everybody's making more money. Okay, so here's who wants a copy of this? Carrier map, AI underwriting instructions. I want to get the latest one. Preparation
Is
and
America the only one with living benefits in California? I know this question gets asked like every single day.
Foresters.
Has living Foresters does?
Foresters and AMAM has a confined nursing rider through TMS, through the term made simple. Okay. So, but you got to check it. That's why the latest and greatest you're going to upload. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to create this file here. I'm going to give you, because you guys are in my class, I'm going to give you guys the screenshots that I just took. I'm going to put it into a compressed file. Okay. So I'm going to do that right now as we're speaking. So new folder. I'm going to put AI underwriting. AI, I'm going to download the instruction. So you got the AI underwriter instructions. You're gonna put these in separate. You have 14 files here. You still have access to 6 files. What I would do is in the instructions section, just copy and paste this into the instructions on ChatGPT. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. This ends our class. Thank you so much.